Earlier on the news, we told you that the Kogi State Emergency Management Agency has called for more collaboration with key emergency stakeholders in the state to mitigate the adverse effects of flooding in the state. And so we'll be getting more details from our correspondent in Owara, Mono Balagbogbo, of course, is standing by. Mono, it's good to see you, of course, on the news this evening.
Hello, Lekon. Good to be here with you. Good evening.
What's the situation on ground? Let's start from there first. How are families coping with this sudden disaster?
I can tell you for a fact, Lekon, that residents in the Owara community are pretty finding it difficult. Although the community leader, the chief, is very supportive. He was cooperating with SEMA officials today, also officials of the Red Cross Society, representative of the Commissioner for Women Affairs was also there, and they're just trying to assess the situation. Do recall that this happened on Tuesday night. They just slept, and this is the first time ever in that community that they are having to deal with the situation of flood, because they are very well aware of the NISA warnings of flood risks around flood-prone areas across some of the states that were mentioned. That was on the 18th of September. So they were aware of that. So from what happened that I was able to clarify today, there is a particular tributary in that particular, that is very close to that community. So the floods came like a washing wind. I mean, it just busted out of this tributary and came right into the community, sweeping buildings, sweeping farmlands, and all of that. So interacting with residents in the community earlier today, you will meet someone who say, "Oh, my house is destroyed." And I mean, I could see for myself. So this was not just about pictures, as I reported yesterday. I mean, the visuals I sent them earlier in, and you could just see the pain and the hurt. Now, the particular IDP camp where some of these residents have been put in, that place is just so tight. It's a primary school, and there's just so many. I'm thinking to myself, how are they going to cope in that particular community? But the state SEMA has been able to assess the situation. You know, when you have cases of flood, Lekon, a lot of people use this as an opportunity maybe to get some free goodies from government. So what SEMA was able to do was to actually ensure that if you say your house was affected, you take us to your house, you get to see your house, assess if your house was truly damaged as a result of the impact of the flood. So that was what SEMA was doing today, getting to know women who are pregnant, lactating mothers, number of children, and just getting all of that information so that they can take it back and then gather up all the stakeholders that they met with. They met with the State Commissioner for Police, they met with the State Commissioner for Women Affairs, they met with NIWA, and of course all other stakeholders to ensure that they synergize. From that report, I mean, that our viewers just saw, you saw some of the stakeholders committed to ensure that they contribute their own quota to ensure that the people are taken care of. They talked about food will start coming in to support the residents of the community. And it's not just even about that community now. Look at all the neighboring communities that are very close to the Lokoja-Abuja Expressway. We also went to Jamata, which is a very popular road location for people who travel from Lokoja to Abuja, Abuja to Lokoja, vice versa. Yes.
All right. So, Mona, I'd like to quickly find out, even as we understand that stakeholder engagement is ongoing over this matter, have humanitarian relief materials, food, clothing, mosquito nets and stuff that these people who are actually flood victims, of course, have these things been provided for them just to help them get by, bearing the time, of course, we are going to be able to find a concrete solution to the issue around flooding in the States?
Well, all of that has not been supplied as of today, because today was all about getting the facts
You know, this was something that happened just a few days ago. The government have been very responsive. They responded quickly. So they're trying to get the facts so that they can actually know those who need these supports that they will be bringing to the people. So like on Saturday, the Executive Secretary for SEMA in the state, Mukhtar, he told me that he will be going to Ibaji. And you recall, Lincoln, the last time we had me on the news, I told you that Ibaji is 95% submerged in water. That community is the most impactful in terms of what flood does to that particular community. So they plan to go here on Saturday to also assess the situation. So right now, those people in our community, some of them are currently in the IDP camp. So there is a primary school they're using as an IDP camp. So they just want to get the facts together. So tomorrow, according to what I was told earlier today, officials from the state SEMA are going to start taking some of these materials like food supplies, mosquito nets, and getting to ensure that it gets to the people. And trust me, Lakon, my eyes will be on that to really ensure that they walk the talk in terms of getting those items to the people of Owara community.
Right, Mono Balagbogbo, thank you so much for sharing this detailed information with us. We appreciate that.
You're welcome, Lakon.